Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. You're watching this. Back out again today because I love it. What are you eating already? We're not out metal detecting today. We're actually on an archaeological dig. And those of you that actually watched my videos from like literally a year ago, there was a Roman villa that was unearthed that side, and they started to move the trench this way to find out anything else that was actually situated on this site at the moment. I mean, as you can tell, there's lots of holes been dug and there's lots of things marked out and lots of things that have been found. But I am going to include most of that in this video and get as much history as I can for you guys, because I know a little bit, but a little bit of information is always the worst thing to have. So we've got some experts behind us, so they should be able to piece this together like a giant jigsaw. And I'll even might get Holly doing a bit of talking. What do you reckon? Is it rain?
Talk about food.
Can you talk about food? It's not a food blog.
Didn't say it was. I just asked if I could talk about food.
No, you can't talk about food. But what I can do is have a little walk around now, filming a little bits of stuff that I can see. Yeah, I love this stuff. I get really excited. History in the ground, and plus I don't even notice it is raining. So hopefully the wet spots or the rain will produce more patterns in the soil, because it's been such a dry few days. So hoping this little shower might produce any more lines visible of any other trench works or pole standings or footings, or even like, I'm sure they had almost like a rubbish trench, but it's not like our rubbish trenches, but it's full of bones and pottery, but you'll see that in a bit. But anyway, it's a bit of a different video, not actually metal detecting, but still history related, because it makes me happy, it does. Right, let's walk around. Have a little walk around the edge. Won't walk inside it because we don't disturb anything, because it's all being measured and all being recorded. That is a very deep hole, yeah. That's a deep hole.
I'm trying to see into the bottom of it.
You're trying to see into the bottom of it. X-ray. Hello.
X-ray dogs.
But you can see, obviously,
A bit sticking out up here.
yeah, they could be. Is that even a bit of pottery sticking out there? You've got some stoneworks. But you can see actually how deep it's going down.
I saw like a green thing, but I think it might just be where the rain's.
The rain's here.
And it's making it look like clay.
Oh, over there, some kernstones. Go have a look.
Ooh.
But here we go, some nice artifacts that are coming out. Bones, seashells. Oh, what?
Oh, it's like a sheep mouth.
Oh, it does. Sheep jaws. I mean, this would be just
Pig.
all pig or horse.
No, it's too small.
Too small to be a horse, but all the bones and pottery and stuff all coming up. You got the bones. And you got some more bones and bits of pottery and seashells. Oh yeah. So most of this bone work probably going to be, I'm going to stick it out there. I mean, as I said, I'm not a professional, but I'm going to say it's probably something to do from their food source or something, and just discarding it. But look at them, these are the Cohen stones. This is where Folkestone actually got its name, because of these stones. These are almost like the grinding stones for. But yeah, some big old stones there.
Massive. Oh, look, there's bones.
Oh yeah, look, there's even bones in between. Oh yeah. It's another big jaw.
That's a big one, so that might be
Horse. Baby horse.
baby horse, maybe big sheep.
Big.
Boar, baby cow.
But just for an aspect, this is what has been uncovered. But this, if you didn't know, it just looks like a normal green field, and you literally go down. I mean, from that base there to there, kernstone and bones, less than a foot, I reckon. Probably less than a foot down. So people walking their dogs over here for hundreds, even thousands of years, don't even know they're walking over like bones and kernstones. And is that a bit of iron?
No one probably cares.
No.
That's the thing.
I do. I think it's amazing. You never know what's beneath your feet.
I always notice it when I try and talk to people like either at work or like customers about something cool that I've just learned or found, and you can see that they do not give a toss. and I'm trying to justify telling them and then trying to give more information, and I just sound even more insane because I'm like, this brooch was found, right, and it is in perfect nick. And just look at me like I am more insane than I know I am.
Well, we kind of know. Well, let's work our way down the trenches now and see what's more stuff. There's more. Is that more bones?
Yep, more bones.
So many bones. And some seashells. They would have had a diet of seashells being this close to the sea. Basically in the sea. But this rain, to see if anything pops out. What, as we're talking, see, oh, there you go, look, some line work. I'll zoom in, and there's almost like a line there, which the rain's produced. Almost like a
diagonal.
Yep, like 2 lines coming down here.
How much do you think this cliff would have eroded since this was not buried?
What, as in eroded through this way?
Yeah, like how much do you think it's probably come back?
What, since this is before the Romans, some of this stuff, and also obviously because the Roman villa was situated here. So this is actually pre-Roman, but it actually looks, what? More teeth and more jaws, more bones. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna say a good probably 300 meters in the last, but I can't be sure.
It will be a shame when this eventually ends up down there.
Yeah, we'll end up there.
It might spit out
More things to be found on the beach,
yeah,
but
some nice
then like it's gonna get lost forever in the sea and just disintegrated, and you know, a bit of salt water.
Not when people like us go looking.
This is true. One of the reasons we go beachcombing is to look for artifacts
And fossils.
and fossils. Well, you've met one. Hi. You know, this square here has been sort of excavated, but even the ground condition here is almost a green hue in the actual clay. Yeah, and the ground patina. I mean, you take that and then you literally take a couple of steps up and it's completely different soils, revealing completely different things.
Because that's the colour of what's in the bottom of the deep one over there.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was just seeing things through my spectacles.
Spectacles?
Or,
I think that's...
or if the rain was changing the colour of the soil. But I think it must have been green.
I'm interested to find out what the iron is. What?
Yeah, like that little bit of iron there as well.
Yeah, a little bit of iron. There's another little bit of iron over there, which I spotted. With some more bones, look.
Oh, yeah.
Bones there, irony bits there. We'll have a quick look through the finds trays in a minute and see what's actually has been unearthed already. I mean, they've been doing this dig for a good couple of weeks now, hence there's a lot of soil been moved out. But yeah, I'll try and find a bit more information about exactly what they found here, and then I'll get... Bone? Is that bone? Oh yeah, it looks like bone. Oh. Just come around the other side of the hole, and this round little hole has got my attention because I think, I may be wrong, that looks like a pad stone at the bottom of there where they would have had a post on to support the building. I may be wrong, but I think that's what it could have been. So it could have been a post for another part of the building. But you can see all the trench work going all the way down. Oh, what's that there? Zoom in. Is that just more stonework there?
I don't know, it looks too smooth to be stone.
You're hoping it's bone, aren't you?
No, because it's not like I can take them with me. So
No,
I don't
you can't.
care.
You can't take these bones with you.
And if they don't want them, then
No.
happily.
And how differently, as it slopes down here, the ground conditions comes to clay, which is what we see down on the beach. So it almost makes complete sense.
Coated in about 2 foot, 2.5 foot of dirt.
Of the topsoils.
And then it's all the cracks in it.
The old newspaper article.
The old newspaper article. These are all the finds that have been kept lovely dry in the cabin, as I am now. It's a bit raining. These ones have all been cleaned up, and you can see the individual teeth of the animals. Can I ask, what animals do you think they are mainly?
Well, it's a mixture of cattle, pig, sheep.
sheep.
They're the main three types of animal you find on these sort of sites.
Because they've got some big jaws there. I thought one of them might have been a horse. It's quite a large one.
I mean, you can generally tell the difference by teeth, shape of the jaw. I mean, occasionally you get some sort of like deer, implication there might be a bit of hunting going on.
Yeah. That's a piece of bone.
You might get the odd, but they're the main categories.
Yeah. A lot of obviously seashells because they would live off their seafood diet being this close to the sea. Yeah. And lots of pottery as well. That's an awful lot of pottery.
Yeah.
And that would have been just discarded pottery, you reckon, or as almost like it's broken beyond repair, so they just discard it into the holes. Oh, that's awesome. A bit of flint work there. Their main tools would have been of a flint variety, or it depends on what part of the trenches we're looking at, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it might have a mixture. I mean, there's suggestions that the querns themselves, the like hopper holes and handles might have been an iron implement used, but perhaps they were too valuable to be discarded. So sort of
I did see there was an iron hot spot. I couldn't quite make it out in one of the trenches. I could see the brownness of the iron coming out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What was that? Or is that?
We might get a bit of natural. There's natural ironstone as well. So you do sometimes get staining in the soil from things like the ironstone that's up here, and iron pyrites have been a few of those collected.
I mean, you can see all the finds that have been recorded, catalogued. I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork to go through after one of these.
Yeah. Keep on top of that. Yeah.
Come at some more finds. This is the bits of pot, which is the earlier type, I do believe, because it's not rounded on the inside, it's more crudely made on the inside. And again, next to some more bones and a dirty, great big kernstone. Look at that. Ollie, put your hand next to that, just a reference of size. That's huge. Yeah.
Bones.
More bones, yes, we know you like the bones. Right, I've actually met up with one of the chief archaeologists. You're the gaffer, aren't you? You're the boss man. We're the boss man of this archaeological dig. Just want to ask you a few questions of things that I've seen. Is this a pad stone? The bottom here?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that is. So we
would have had a wooden post or something supporting.
Yes, and when we excavated it, initially we knew that it was a post pit because there was rubble and quernstone wasted on the top.
Okay.
And as we excavated down, we actually found the post pipe of where the shadow of where the post would have been in situ.
And these are they smaller post pits here and here? Or?
Yes, yeah. It may be that it's a bit difficult to know just yet, but it's possible that they're contemporary with, you might just be able to see the arc of a ditch running around where the students are working over here. And that could potentially be a drip gully.
Just up this way there?
Yeah. A drip gully associated with an Iron Age roundhouse.
An Iron Age roundhouse? So is Iron Age the main sort of time you're getting from this dig?
Yeah. I mean, fundamentally it is late Iron Age.
Iron Age.
We've also got early Roman ditches. There might have been field systems associated with the villa.
Because the villa was literally, we're talking, 20 metres that direction?
Yeah, approximately a bit more. Yeah, between us and the public lavatories.
The old toilets. These little pile of stones, they just parts of kernstones that have been, or they?
That one on top is with the label on it because it's been identified as such.
Yeah.
But there's a mixture of natural stone in there as well as fragments of ironstone, bits of flint, animal bone. But it seems to be a little cluster of pits going on in that particular area.
A small bit. And you can tell, obviously, by the different soil types that obviously this is more clay down towards the beach down this way. Yeah. And this is more sort of loose.
Yeah. I mean, it may be something to do with the tip of the slopes. So you're getting sort of soil deposits that are just overlying the paler sort of chalk marl that we've got here.
And even so much so it goes almost green over in this far corner.
Yeah,
it's
for
almost
sure. Yeah, and the rain's probably just brought that out. A little bit of drizzle.
It looks very, very green.
Yeah. This ditch here is one of those Roman ditches.
This one here is the Roman one.
Yeah. And there's potentially some sort of entrance here, because you can see there's a terminus there.
Yeah.
And another one here.
Yep.
So
this would have been well understood. Well, a couple of feet in front of me, that's the doorway to possibly.
Yeah, a break in the ditch, you know, into an enclosure of some kind.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, this area over here, yeah, I mean it's a little bit more complicated. A lot of the other stuff is what we expected. You know, we've seen continuation of the Roman field systems like this one. You can see.
Yeah, this is the curved ditch you were pointing out to earlier. See it better from this corner. Yeah.
And with its sort of perpendicular ditch running down the slope, going down that way. However, we've got slightly more complex things going on here.
This is a corner, a very busy corner.
Yeah, I mean this area's always shown up as something different, but we haven't had previously. It's looking now that as you've got the Roman ditches cutting across the top, but underneath, concealed, you've got potentially a deep pit over in
I did wonder why that was so deep over there.
Yeah, I mean at the moment we've just dug a test slot across it to gauge the depth and try and understand.
To see if there's any.
But it looks like there potentially more than one pit. Like we've got a curve. And just sit over there. So we might have intercutting refuse pits.
Oh, so it's mainly a refuge pits are just for obviously dumping the animal waste when they eat them, and obviously discarded pottery and broken bits of kernstone which they couldn't get it right.
That's exactly.
And were these kernstones found as they are here situated?
They're in situ, yeah. I mean,
as well as the bones which Holly pointed out. She was straight on the jawbone or something, right crack in the middle. Yeah. And that was all found in situ as it sits.
Yeah, I mean that is literally as we've taken off the subsoil. That's the first thing we've come down onto.
Because that's not very deep at all. From.
No, I mean there was some careful machine work around.
Yeah.
And we just touched the top of them and then just cleaned around them.
Yeah. It's amazing how shallow stuff is. Yeah. I mean, from a metal detector's point of view, I mean, I found a red ball can about 1.5 foot down, but I found a Roman coin on the surface. Yeah. And you're thinking that's almost 2,000 years difference. It's crazy to think. But all to do with the land and whether it's been worked and left. And that's one bit of iron which you spoke to me earlier about. Possibly, possibly just naturally occurring ironstone.
Yeah, I mean it's ironstone, although it's probably anything like the ironstone or the green sandstone has been brought up here from its original context.
Oh, so it has definitely been moved. It wasn't.
So it's come up from the beach.
So
it's been used for something at some stage. Not all of them are obvious. I mean the roughed out querns, we can work out that, but something like a lump of ironstone might have just been used as a packing material around a post hole, for example.
Ah, brilliant. So this is obviously the busier part of a lot of things happening. I mean, they've even dug a deeper hole there to try and make sense of what's happened on this far corner. But so do you think there was another building here, sort of Iron Age building?
This one just in the foreground, so where you've got this curved gully.
Okay, so that would have been part of the roundhouse?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the drip gully for the drainage, so the rain that's come off the
roof.
conical roof, all the rain has run into this drip gully on the outside. And then if we look very carefully on the interior, we've already encountered a few, you should find some post holes. And that would be give you evidence of the structure of the Iron Age.
Size of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the size of it you can get to an extent with the diameter of the drip gully.
Yeah.
But like the internal features will give you more evidence of the actual structure.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
I've learned a lot already, so thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of you guys would have spotted this. Literally, as I turned the camera off, I was intrigued. What's these red pegs for? And
Right, so that's where we've swept over with a metal detector, and we've got a signal, so perhaps like suggesting there's iron,
Yeah.
and it's still further down into the ground.
Got you.
You know, we don't disturb them at this stage. So once we get down to that sort of level, we have to be careful to look for the possible metal object.
Right. You should invest in a little pinpoint, handheld ones. So you can just go.
Yeah, we've got those as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking that. So there you go. They mark out any obviously metal objects to make sure when they are extracting. Because I'm sure, is that the line that's going to be extracted?
That's one idea.
One idea. So obviously when they go in, they know to be extra careful with certain areas. That's brilliant. I learn something new every day.
It is a lucky one.
Just caught up to the most important person on the site. It's delicately cleaning.
What if I find something that's nice to clean?
Nice to clean.
Something smart.
Something smart. Oh, there we go.
There we go, it's smart.
Oh wow, that's a lovely bit of pop. That's brilliant. So you
It's
did.
nicer than the wire brush. I saw someone using.
Oh
earlier.
yeah, I saw someone using. Not here, obviously.
Oh, good.
There's a very, very thick wire brush and delicate items found.
Makes me cringe.
They do. So you're just getting rid of all the soil on it and then just
Yeah.
obviously.
Get rid of all the soil. Well, if you can without damaging it. Depends how delicate it is. If it's going to crumble, you wouldn't put it in water.
No, it just has
Give
a
it a quick rinse there to take the dust off.
bit of fresh water. And then there you go. It's brilliant. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'll put it back where I found it.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is something a bit different, something still history based, something which actually I have a lot of passion for. It's not just the metal treasures, it's actual
Archaeological.
yeah. So you never know what you're walking over. I mean, me and Holly just walk. Who knows what's here?
No,
Holly,
literally.
what's here?
There could be a gorgeous mosaic floor full of flowers and hearts. There could be an old bathroom.
It could be an old bathroom. We could be walking over someone's bathtub right now. You don't know. You never know what's beneath your feet
Or
until
a kitchen.
or a kitchen. Always on the snacks, isn't she? You can't leave them alone. Right. If you like that sort of thing, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I will try and do some more diverse things other than just metal detecting because I love my history. And but other than that, 90% of my museum trip could be in the cards. Could be on the cards. Right. Let's gas in. Hoppy trot.